It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment. Good morning. It's Ron Brown. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. We have a great program for you. You'll be with us for the next hour. We're going to first talk about CES and all the things that happened there this week, and then we're going to get on to reviewing the news of the week. We have a star-studded cast today across the world, and we're going to talk about that through the marvels of technology. We also, so you're probably wondering who we are. Well, we want to know who you are, because we had a great time. We've been talking for an hour before the show, getting ready, and we're very good friends, and but we don't know who you are. So if you're out there and you're listening, if you could maybe put in the chat who you are, and maybe where you're from, and what else? Let us know the weather in your area, and let's get to know each other. We're going to yes, so we're a group, Tech for Senior. We have a Monday show, which is our big show. We broadcast that out through a Zoom meeting on Monday, and it goes out to YouTube. Today, this is called Tech for Senior Live, and of course, we review the news of the week. We have a Facebook page, and I'll just put the link up here. This is our Facebook page, and this is where all our articles get posted. If you want to follow along as we're reviewing the articles today, you can certainly do that, and you can follow along either on the screen or on our Facebook page. This show, of course, like all our other shows, are recorded, and we will be having that up, and it should be up and ready to go as soon as we finish. It's recorded onto YouTube. We always appreciate your comments, suggestions if you're watching it on YouTube. Thanks so much. If you're watching this on a YouTube short, just click the link and it'll take you right to the show. Well, we have let's get on with the introductions today. This is really quite a lot of fun, as you'll see, because you're probably sitting there looking at all of us five here thinking, well, gee, they're in the studio, they're all having a nice little chat, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, we are spread out. Not only are we on land, but we're actually on water. And Bob, would you like to tell us, Bob Gusticia from Los Lunas? No, he's not from Los Lunas, New Mexico. Where the heck are you, Bob? Unmute yourself.
I'm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
What?
We actually we left Long Beach on Sunday, and on Monday we had to make an emergency U-turn. We had a medical emergency aboard ship, and they had to go back to San Diego, and we are still at sea. We will have another day at sea tomorrow. So we will have been at sea since Sunday afternoon. We won't arrive in Hawaii until Saturday. That's a lot more at sea than I had planned on to start off with. We've also canceled the first stop in Hawaii. So, not a very happy person, but emergencies do happen and you do have to take care of sick people as it happens. So, we'll see.
There you go.
But yes, I'm in
Bob,
the middle of the ocean and we have some very, very strong winds
strong wind.
outside. And when you see me moving, it's not because I can't sit still, it's because I have no choice.
Bob, of course, is our security expert. He's been with us since the show started on Monday. He's a great guy, and a very prolific maker of videos, YouTube videos, and all forms of technology. So we're so lucky to have Bob with us. And he even tells us he's going to get a security news update for us for our show on Monday. He's working hard, even though he's in the middle of the ocean in a storm. So thank you for all the work you do, Bob. And then the
I'm
next
not so secure right now.
and the next person, of course, is my co-host on Monday. He's a famous guy. He just recently gave a talk at APCUG, and we'll talk about APCUG in just a minute. And all these people came to see him. He had over 200 people at his conference. Huey, what the heck did you talk about?
Smart TVs, the same presentation I did here in two parts, and then I extended it a little bit more. But we talked about smart TVs and free services and so on. We had a lively Q&A afterwards. It was a good session.
Wow. Anyway, Hewie, of course, is from Bradenton, Florida, and he's sort of always smiling when he comes on the show because he just has sunny weather all the time, and he's a really happy guy.
Yeah, it's sunny, but it's chilly, and it's going to get colder. We got another cold front coming through, and it's cold, and then we get a cold front coming through. So we're going to see some nights in the 30s, probably the high 30s, but in the 30s over the weekend.
Yeah, but what is it in the daytime? What do you consider cold?
I think one day it's only going to go into the high 60s, but the other days it'll be in the 70s. Well, I've got the heat on. I've had the heat on now for a couple of weeks.
All right, and then of course we mentioned APCUG, and that is the Association of Personal Computer User Groups, and of course we have Ray Baxter, who is our musical director on our Monday show. He's also from Pine, Arizona, and just north of Phoenix. He is a great guy, and he is also the president of APCUG and also the treasurer. So he holds all the money and the power. So we're really happy to have him on. He's also a very nice guy and a good friend of ours, and he knows a lot about he promotes music clubs around the internationally, really, and he's just a great guy, and we're so lucky to have him on the show. And he's from Pine, Arizona, and that's Mr. Ray Baxter.
Hey, thank you, Ron. You talk about the temperatures there and how cold they are. Well, I was down in the Mesa area over the weekend and returned later in the day on Saturday. Actually, it's Saturday evening, and the propane ran out. The delivery company got their schedule messed up, so I had no heat in the house. So the house was 53 degrees when I arrived home, inside the house. so I don't have too much of a sympathy.
All right. And then, of course, there's Mr. Mike Ungerman, who, of course, always is smiling when I see him. And the reason that he smiles all the time is because it's hot in Florida. And he, of course, is from Florida. And he has solar panels on his roof. And when it's hot out and sunny, he makes money. So he sits there, and the sunnier it gets, the more he smiles, because the money just keeps rolling in and rolling in and rolling in. Right, Mike?
Yes, and the cooler weather actually will cool my panels down, and they'll produce more electricity. So as long as it's sunny, I'm happy.
So you're just keep smiling, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. Now today, Mike and Hewie, of course, are Going to talk a little bit about CES and some of the products at CES today. We're going to talk a little bit about that in just a second. I guess what we should do, Hewie, is there anyone out there listening to us?
Yeah, actually, there are quite a few, but we'll start with the first one.
Really?
Guess Mike Ungerman is here.
Well, really? Hi, Mike. My second computer monitoring, so I can share some links. Okay. Good stuff. Dick Vogel, Central Florida Computer Society, Sanford, Florida.
Yeah, we're well represented.
Yes. Ed Weiss, Central New Jersey, 50 degrees and cloudy. JJ, 36 degrees, Waukegan, Illinois, today and no snow.
JJ, we'll teach him to say Waukegan someday in the
Waukegan.
future.
Yeah. Charlie Walker, 5 people.
Clark.
Yeah.
Sorry. 5 people. I need a bigger screen. Yeah. Yes, all for the same price, right? Hey, we're not charging anymore for 5 people. Mike Lehman, Moncton, New Brunswick, 3, and it's 8 today.
Minus 8.
-3, yeah. JG says, I was on a Navy minesweeper floating cork, and it took us 10 days to get to Hawaii. Steve says, Steve Powell. Hi, Steve. Kirkland, Washington, 47 degrees and rain. Yeah, it's windy out too. We have a big storm here, so you're probably going to get that as well. Bernardo DeFazio, Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan. Bob Baxter, no relation to you, Ray? No. Bellevue, Washington, 52 degrees and rain for the next week. Yes, indeed. Ivana Stewart, hi. Why did I have to sign in to an account to write in chat? They already have enough info on me. Argyle, Texas, 51 degrees. Yesterday, it was 81 degrees. I have to sign in to an account to write in chat?
YouTube account.
Maybe, yeah, that must be the YouTube. You have to sign into your YouTube account. Good one, Mike. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. Yeah, and he's watching on YouTube as well. Bill H, 50 degrees and high clouds here in Oregon. Mead Stewart, 49 degrees. Staunton. Is it Staunton?
Yep, I think so.
Staunton, Virginia. Okay. Sally Ann from Kirkland, Washington. More rain coming and wind. Yes, it is. Irving watching from Deerfield Beach, Florida. It's 77 degrees and sunny. Thanks. Rubbing it in, are you? And Eddie Taylor Richards, Prescott, Arizona, waiting for weather from California to bring us snow again. Do you want more snow, Ray?
I've had enough so far. Thank you.
All right. Irving, watching from, okay, same. That's probably part of the same. Yeah. Ted Waugh, 2 degrees in Oliver, BC. Oh, now listen, Ted, are you new here? Is this your first time? Do you guys remember Ted being here before?
I don't remember that name, no.
So a big shout out to Ted today. If it's your first time listening to us, thank you so much. And welcome. Maybe put in the chat where you learned about us. That would be cool. And our apologies if you've been watching the show and we just haven't remembered your name, but thank you again for coming and listening to us. All right. So the first, so I thought we better get on with it now. I want to talk a little bit about CES. Hewie, do you want me to play some of those, put some of those overlays up? Hewie and Mike did a review of some of the things that happened at CES. CES is the big consumer electronics show in Las Vegas, and it was, of course, this last week it was on. So we thought we would just showcase a few of their products and have a look at that. So do you want me to sort of show you that?
Put a few of those pictures up. Yeah,
show a few of the pictures, okay?
And then Mike and I will talk about them.
Okay.
Or anybody else who wants to.
Okay. Let me just we'll get those up.
And while you're doing that, the reason Mike and I talk about CES a lot, Mike and I went together to a few of the recent CESs before COVID, and then Mike and I have gone separately as well. And we used to go to the Comdex show before that, back in the '90s. I've got some pictures. I should have pulled a couple of them out and showed us at various booths and at a couple of those shows. Anyway, this is instead of being a vacuum cleaner that's automated, it is and a robot. It's a lawnmower.
Oh, well, now we've had lawnmower robots for a while. What's special about this one?
It works better.
Does this one also do snow?
No, I don't believe so. Not this one.
But they do have automated snow blowers.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. And then what's happened? This is a lot of monitors on this thing.
Yeah, a double monitor on a computer, laptop. I don't know if it's really a laptop anymore, but and it's got the keyboard at the bottom. Yeah, and I'm not sure if this is the same one, but one of them you can take the keyboard and slide it up the screen. And
is this
the
same one on the side?
I think this is a different one. No, that may be the same one. I'm not sure.
So is this one? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think they're the same. No.
So double monitor is interesting.
Yeah.
It's odd that would be balanced like that, eh? Like how the heck you'd think with the second monitor on there it would fall over. But this is
they probably have a light screen.
Yeah. So this would be this is I guess like a foldable computer, eh? You've got it on each side and then a keyboard.
Yep. It gives you a lot of screen space.
Right. Wow.
With it, and make it easier for you to carry it.
And then this is sort of cool.
Yeah, it's a TV that it doesn't have any wires. It's got a box that you can have over on the table. You can have in a closet, whatever, that does all of the controlling. So you don't have to have it connected to the screen itself, and the screen can be stuck to a window like this is. But I was reading an article, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it said it stays up because of power, and if it gets turned off, it falls. I don't think I'd like that.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to be looking at a TV into the bright light. Isn't that a bit crazy?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just the fact that it can go on a window as well as on a wall.
Right.
If you think about computer clubs presenting, many of us have projectors, and some of us have gone on to large screen monitors that we roll into the room. So this type of a TV, if the prices came down, would be perfect for just putting up on a wall of the library or something like that, or your conference room.
All right. Now, what are you talking about? Toilet paper here, or what is this? Are we going into the toilet now, or what's
yeah,
happening?
we got a few pictures of various pictures of what this is. It is a medical thing, doctor. It does it measures your not measures, but it will allow you to get information from your pee, just as if you send it to the to your when they draw blood and they send it out. This will interpret if there's something wrong with you using your pee as a medium.
So
urine sample on demand, right?
Yeah, and there's several pictures of it. I think Ron will move and go to a different one.
Sure, I'll show you that in a minute. But most of you probably know I'm a physician, and I spent all my life looking at pee. So this is nothing new. But this is made by a company called Withings. I think this is a British company, and they of course have watches, and they do smartwatch technology as well. So I sort of follow them along. The article you're talking about, that device is called a U-Scan. It's a U and an SCAN. Now, the thing that was crazy about this is it got the CES award of the show, and I'm thinking to measure some pee, and I thought, you got to be kidding! Can't they get something other than that? Anyway, the thing that's interesting. So here's the little device, right? This is what you're purchasing, and then it sits in the toilet like that, right? And now, I don't know if I loaded up. I don't think I loaded
Ron,
the actual card. What's that?
Ron, if your aim isn't too good, makes for a messy bathroom.
It does. And the other thing that's interesting about this little device, we'll come back to this one, is that of course it's not, so we'll get to what it does in a minute, all right? But the question is, if you have, I think the cool part about this isn't the fact of what it measures, it's how it knows who is peeing. Because it can figure out who is peeing by how hard it hits, by the angle of the stream and how hard it's so if you have a bunch of people using the same toilet, it can figure out who actually is doing the peeing, right? And I thought that's probably the greatest part of this little device, not so much what it measures, right? Now, the thing that of course it sends the data back. I must have a Bluetooth connection or something like that, and it sends it back to your phone on an app. And of course, it tells you a bunch of things that's in your urine. So that's the idea of this. And I'm sure Mike's going to talk about some cool technology that we don't want to discuss urine for the whole show, but the thing that's a bit weird about this, two things. Well, there's a number of things. Number one, this has not been approved by the FDA, so this is not available in the United States. Number two, it's very costly. There are cartridges that go in here, and it's extremely expensive. We're talking about several $100s a month per each cartridge is what it's going to be measuring, if it in fact gets FDA approval at all. And the other thing is that from what I read in the limited amount of stuff that's out there, is that what it's actually measuring isn't that relevant to doctors and what I want to know, right? And it's going to give you some, my worry is that it's going to give you some hocus pocus stuff like this is showing here. It's measuring the acid and base in your urine, and then this will lead to too much acid causes problems, and take these pills and it will lower the amount of acid in your urine, and you get into a whole bunch of hocus pocus stuff. So I'm not sure that this really deserved the CES award, but it's sort of interesting technology, and one that I talk about a lot with smart technology for watches, and of course monitoring certain aspects of your bodily functions at home is a big deal, and as we move forward will of course be a very important part of your healthcare system. So this is an early prototype of something that maybe have some benefit in the future. Mike, you were going to show us about your playlist you have.
Yep. Okay. Do I have to click present, or do you?
No. I'll bring it up here. I think it's already loaded. Let's hold it here. We can add this to your stream. Is that right? Is that okay?
Yep.
Let's see if it's live. Okay. So in the chat, I put down the link to my YouTube playlist. It's got let's see, as of this morning, there were 56 videos. I know Ray Braxter shared this with his computer club, and since then I probably added another 20. What I tried to do was to sort it in order of how someone might want to approach CES. So the very first one is just a local news station giving about a 3-minute overview of CES. The second one, Hewie and I are both familiar with, and this is the CES Unveiled press event, which happens the day before CES, where quite a few vendors have booths set up and give an advanced look at what's available. And Brian is one of the Consumer Technology Association's reporters. So he's got a half-hour review. Then the next, next three are about hour-long videos that give you a broad overview of what CES looks like from a camera team that's literally going up and down 15 miles of aisles. So if you are in great physical form and you can cover this maybe in 3 days, I learned very quickly in the progress of attending that it was better to rent a scooter and ride the scooter around. But it is a good overview. You may not get all the details you want, but you'll get a good picture of what CES is all about. Then we start with some overviews which either hit tech gadgets like we talked about this morning. Here's one from USA Today, and then a number of best of CES videos, including Apple, which is not a presenter, but Apple accessories. And then some of the bloggers, and Gadget's a blogger, Lawn TV is a blogger, and some of their series, very interesting aspects of CES. And then, as Ron knows, I'm an aficionado of electric vehicles. And so CES every year has always had an auto area in the North Hall. But this year, especially with all the things that have happened with electric vehicles over the last 3 and 4 years, quite a bit of CES was devoted to electronic cars or electric cars. So we have electric vehicles, the best of. We have lots of EV tech, and one of the bloggers is called Bearded Tesla Guy. So he takes a tour and he talks quite a bit about it. Ron had pointed this out to me, and it did make CES that there's a made in Canada electric vehicle with all of the components being made in Canada that go into an electric vehicle. Even Dolby Atmos, if you want to listen to high quality sound inside your car as you're driving, and a BMW that changes its colors. So if you're driving down the road speeding and you decide to try to evade the police, you change your color and hide. The Fisker Ocean, which I'm interested in because I have a deposit on one, and even Android Auto has had an update. Then we have an interesting behind the scenes view of how things were set up. And I have a whole section that covers television sets, which is always a major section at CES. So we've got Roku having their own brand. We've got LG, we've got Samsung, we've got Samsung's QED getting its own view. A review of why Sony didn't present at CES, but plans on coming out with new TVs this year. The new buzzword, we've always talked about QLEDs and OLEDs, but the new buzzword now is micro LED. So that's a technology that's out there. And then each one of the TV brands have their own coverage. So we've got Hisense, TCL, a summary of best TVs, a little segue into the press reviews. And again, as Hugh and I went to the CES, we tried to attend as many press events as we could. And so you've got a chance to see the streaming press events. As you can see, they're quite long, but if you've got nothing better to watch, this one's an hour and 45 minutes. But if you really want to see aspects of what's happening with AMD, interesting that Intel didn't do a press event this year. Then the press events of the TV manufacturers, LG, Samsung, TCL, Hisense. Sony did have a press conference, but did not cover TV sets. BMW had their own keynote for electronic vehicles. And then I go into a few of the items that got my attention. We had talked about soundbars in the past, and apparently soundbar tech is really turning into quite the sound fields for small homes and for homes without having to have a whole entertainment center. The new ATSC over-the-air television, new technology that's coming our way, and antennas. There is a new protocol for smart devices and the Internet of Things called Matter. We're going to hear a lot more about that in the coming year, and it's a good review of it. And then a couple of recaps. My vote for the most interesting health device is the new over-the-counter hearing aids that are getting FDA approval and that you can actually buy. So here's a review on a CES Tech Talk of the new HP and earbuds that you can buy over the counter right now. You can get on a reserve list at Best Buy. And finally, one of our favorite bloggers, Leo Laporte, the tech guy, has This Week in Tech, and he's got a 2-hour and 24-minute review, of which a major portion is devoted to CES. So I put the link for this. It's going to be bit.ly and then Mike's-CES 2023. It's in the chat. And
I don't see it in the chat, Mike. You'll have to put it in again.
All right, I will do that.
It's something Ron has to put in.
No, you won't
What
see
you
it in the
should put
chat
in
for the conference. I just put it into the YouTube chat, but I just did it again, and I'll give it to Ron for the newsletter as well.
I think you're putting it in the chat that we get.
Right.
Ron
Ron has to put it out.
All right. Well, I just pasted it in the chat on YouTube on the other one, but I'll do that.
Okay, thanks. Thanks so much, Mike.
Yeah,
wow.
Just a reminder, a lot of these things are early in the development of various items. I can remember USB being featured at one of the shows, and it was probably 2 or 3 years after the show that you started seeing USB products. Same thing with Bluetooth. I remember seeing Bluetooth and hearing all about Bluetooth at CES, and there was nothing out there that you could get. It was Bluetooth, and it was maybe 2 years later that some of the first Bluetooth items were introduced. So some of these things are to sell and to show other manufacturers what they can purchase the rights to and add into their products as well. So sometimes it takes a couple of years for them to actually come to fruition and be in products so that we can buy.
Hewie, before we move on to the news now, is there any more comments in this? Should we look at?
Let me. Okay, you asked Ted.
Ted, I've watched a couple of times. Moved from Courtney. What do you mean you left our beautiful Courtney Comox area? Really? Right. Bill says the monitor on the window could use a window belt instead of a seat belt. Bill says the U-scan is a real invasion of privacy. Can the link to the CES plays be put in the YouTube chat? I think Mike's done that. I think
no,
Bill.
It's still not there.
I don't know why that wouldn't be there because I just pasted it. I'll sign out and sign in again.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Okay, is that it?
Yep, Yep.
That's it. All right, let's get on to the news. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll see who got the first article today.
Don't forget to refresh your screen.
I think we'll just refresh it now. Let's see who got the first article. All right, who posted this one?
I did.
Oh, Ray, you did it. So
I've never did first before. My life is complete.
Yeah, just hold on. Let me see if I can get a little bit bigger here. Let's see. We do one more. Yeah, we always have a contest each week to see who. Let's just see.
Oh, I'm not first, and there's one ahead of me, right?
No. These are no.
Oh,
no,
okay.
This is
All
you.
right.
You did make it. We always have a contest each week to see who posts the first article, and as we're
It's actually the last article.
Yeah, we're sort of like last article, right? And as you guys are posting in the middle of the show, trying to catch up and be first. So Ray, well done, eh?
Okay. All right. So this is an article about Sam Altman. Now, the article highlights his recent Twitter comments where he said, basically, Chat GPT is incredibly limited, but good enough at some things to create a misleading impression of greatness. Now, if you're not familiar with Sam Altman, he's a 37-year-old Stanford University dropout who's now the CEO of OpenAI, along with Elon Musk as one of the several initial investors. I think you're going to hear the name Sam Altman quite a bit in the future.
Interesting. We've been talking a lot about Chat GPT the last couple of weeks. I think we've all used it. I was looking to use it for the last news article, and I couldn't log in. It was overloaded, and the servers were overloaded and wouldn't let me log in. They're already talking about a paid version of it, so I expect that this has taken the world by a storm now. So many people are using it that it's phenomenal, right?
I'm trying to see if it can write my music article
Yeah.
for Monday.
Yeah, well, I bet it could.
I'm having trouble getting in.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's a hard one. All right. The next one, is this yours, Ray?
Yes, it is. So we're just talking about CES. This is the one I think is really, and it did get an award for most innovative. So, as laptops have become thinner, the number of connecting ports have basically disappeared, greatly reduced. Not uncommon today for a new laptop to only have 2 USB ports, one of them being USB-C. But to me, as I've heard me say before, USB-C on computers is going to be a game changer. And this particular device is a monitor. A monitor stand, and the stand itself has not 1, not 2, 12 connecting ports, including HDMI to support 4K. So I predict docking stations that have been popular in the business world will soon be common in the home.
That is a great idea. That is just brilliant. I think that I'd buy that. Did they have a price on that, Ray? I didn't read the article.
Not this model. The last year's model, there was one that had less ports, was about $300, if I remember correctly.
Man, that is a great idea. That is really good. Yeah. It's only a matter of time.
Well, now we're all using voice commands in the house. Now you're going to be able to use voice commands in your car, and this is called using Android Automotive. Again, that's the infotainment system built into the car by the car maker at their plants or at the factory. But you'll be able to start air conditioning system or unlock your vehicle door just with voice commands, similar, as I said, to most of us do around the house. More important for electric vehicle market, one of the voice command capabilities will include checking the battery status. Now, the Polestar 2 will be the first model to receive these capabilities, but I expect them to roll out to the other auto manufacturers in the near term.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Amazing. I just wanted to mention, I don't know if there's any articles on the Dodge Ram. Mike, did you see the stuff on the Dodge Ram about the wireless charging? Did you?
Not on the wireless charging. I saw a lot on the Dodge Ram of what the electric vehicle is going to do.
Yeah, so that it was interesting. The Leo Laporte was talking. Sam, the car guy on Leo Laporte, was talking about that this morning, and that the Dodge Ram coming out, the truck will have wireless charging. And there's going to be a charging mat that you'll be able to get for the floor of your garage. And what will happen is you'll drive the truck in, and it will drive over top of the wireless charging mat and then hook up and then charge. Now, this actually is being used on buses a lot. Like there's commercial applications for this, and buses, as they come into stops, go over wireless charging mats. So it's not that new a technology, but here's the catch, is that when you drive it in, it's got to be just perfect over top of the mat. You can't be off a little bit or it'll affect the charging, right? So what they do now is they have, like Bob's robotic vacuum, they have now, when you drive your car in, you'll stop it in the garage, and it'll be like a robotic vacuum, little thing on wheels, and it will come out and it'll go under the car, and it will fit perfectly underneath and wirelessly charge. And when it's full, then it drives off, moves off from under the car, and that's how it's perfectly going to charge. I think that's neat technology. And that's coming out.
Is it using some kind of sensor, or is it using magnetic connection? Probably
Don't
the
know.
magnetic one.
I don't know the technology of
But
it,
it
but I
could
thought
be,
that
it could just be an induction, depending
could
on
be,
how.
yeah. So it's anyway, it's pretty darn cool, I'll tell you. I thought that was interesting.
I hope there's reincarnation. I want to come back and see how some of these things.
Well, this is coming out on the new Dodge Ram, but this is this year's stuff. As soon as this is the first generation coming out that's going to have this. What's new in Chrome 109 available now?
That's the browser, not the operating system.
That's right.
As far as I know, the operating system 109 is not out yet.
Right. Who? Although I thought Jolyn said that she downloaded it on her late Chromebook. I thought it was.
She was going to look for it,
but I didn't. I wasn't on mine. I checked this morning.
No.
So anyway, just to I don't know. Did I put this up there? I think.
No, I did.
Okay. So everyone know that 109 is out now. I have it now on my machine here.
Yeah.
So
I updated by going into the three dots at the top, and then going to help, and then about Google Chrome, and it says, "Oh, there's a new one," and it just automatically updates at that point.
Did anyone notice? I don't think there's anything really major. I think it's all behind the scenes stuff. I don't.
Read this article and it'll tell you.
Well, I did sort of, but it didn't say very much.
Yeah, so there's not a lot. So,
all right. So I think I put this one.
Yes, you did. Yep.
I put this one up. This is cool. This is as you know, iPhones now only have eSIMs. There's no physical SIMs anymore, right? And we have so the world is moving towards eSIMs. But what Google is experimenting with, and they're going to be bringing out probably this year, is you'll be able to transfer the eSIM from one phone to another without deactivating it. In other words, it'll be an easy transfer. So if you to move the eSIM from one phone to the other. Now, it's still possible to do that now, but you have to deactivate it and go through a whole bunch of reactivation on the new phone. But with this, you'll just be able to transfer it from one phone to the other and move your SIM. And I think that's going to be really cool. And it'll be really easy to do. So I thought that was an interesting feature that year.
And you're breaking up, Ron.
Yep.
Was I starting to break up?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Your picture is frozen now.
Hmm.
Now you're back.
Can you do this one? Can you hear me now?
We're back.
Yes,
Yep,
you're
we're
back.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Microsoft's AI-powered Valley can mimic anybody's voice with just a 3-second sample.
Yeah, I saw your post of this morning, and so I want to play with that and see what it does. I think
So
that'll be
You
interesting.
can't play with it because it's not yet available to anyone
okay.
other than they. Okay. I would already have been working with this.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure
it's
you
not
would
yet.
have.
Sorry.
Right. So Bob, about it would be quite a long time ago. If Vale Williamson's listening, if he's on, with Vale Williams, if he's on, he's my old computer buddy from Silveridge. We had a situation where the president of the club got a call. This is about going back 7 years ago. His wife got a call at noon hour from their son, who was in Las Vegas, apparently had been drunk that night, got in an accident, and was in a police cell, and they needed money right away for the lawyer, right?
No. Yeah. No.
So
no.
you hear that, right? Now, but here's the thing, Bob. Here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing. She was highly suspicious, and of course, when the president, I can't remember the guy's name who was the president of the club, when he came home, he knew, so he phoned the number and said he wanted to speak to his son, and they talked to his son, and just briefly, and his son, it's a one-way conversation, and he knows his son's voice, right? And it was his voice. It sounded exactly like his son, so they were able to imitate his voice. So I see this being this is going to be a very, very big problem with security, because when you phone somebody and you think you know who they are, it's not going to be that, right? Isn't that going to be a big
Again,
problem?
don't use the information they supply. Use your independent information, even
Yeah.
if it sounds so realistic.
The future may be passwords for phone conversations.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like I would rely, Ray. I would think I know your voice, and if you phoned me and said, "Hi, Ron," I would assume it's you because I know your voice, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But it may not be you, right? Wow. And then we have this is, did you guys see this announcement?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so this is new, and this is a big deal. Microsoft 365 is adding a $1.99 tier per month, basic tier. So now this does not include Office, but it does include I think 10 gigs of data and
100
Outlook
gigs, yeah.
and it's this is a new product that's coming out. And it is Microsoft just announced Microsoft 365 Basic, a new 365 tier that will launch on January 30th, $20 a year, and will provide 100 gigabits of OneDrive storage, as well as other benefits such as free experience with Outlook. It also offers support for Windows 11, so you get to talk directly to support people and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting product, obviously trying to compete with Google One, and so it's interesting, but it does not include Office. So I thought that was an interesting product. We probably should talk about that some more, maybe on Tech for Senior on our Monday show.
And of course, Office
But Ron,
Online is free.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you guys think of that? Do you think that's a good deal, or
$1.99 is not competitive if they offer. The only thing they offer is Outlook, because you use the Google product, and you have all of the Office competition products available as part of the Google product. Same amount of storage, same price.
Yeah, it's the same price as the Google getting 100
Yep.
gigabytes of storage.
yeah?
Right.
Actually, I think Google's 24 a year.
Just
Get
to
it for
remind
20 if
everybody,
you pay.
right? Just to remind everybody, I put this in there. Of course, we're now into a new year, which means we have a whole bunch of new phones coming out, right? So the S23, which of course is the big Samsung phone, will be making its debut shortly. And so we'll be waiting to see all the good stuff with that. Here he is. We should maybe just have a quick look. Are we? How are we doing with comments? Anything we should
Okay,
be?
let me go back. Mike can't put in a link. It doesn't accept links. So we'll have to figure out a way. It'll be in our newsletter, I guess would be the best way. Okay. And then Kathleen. Did I click the right thing? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Earlier, she said she's now has COVID, and this is the medication she's taking.
Oh, Paxlovid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then earlier she had put this. Okay.
45 degrees, cloudy in New York. I am under the weather with COVID and may not make it through all of the session. Oh, I hope you're going to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Daniels. Oh, from, of course, Michael is a product expert at Google of like, I don't know, 8 or 10 products. He has a great community that Hewie and I belong to. We meet once a day and he gives us tips. He's a great guy. Know Michael really well. Love talking about new tech. And they did it on their show yesterday. They did such cool stuff. I think AI will change a lot this year, even with Chat GPT, for sure.
Yeah, they're already talking about Chat GPT Professional.
Well, I think you're going to see a paid version pretty quick because it's not usable because there's so many people using it. They can't keep up, eh?
Yep.
Ted says
But the
that we are
paid
going
version will have
we are
paid
going to
version
need
will have
two-factor
up-to-date
verification.
information.
Ted says we are going to need two-factor verification for phone calls. Yeah, we'll all have.
Yeah.
That was my
You're
point.
right. You're right. That's crazy, eh? Oh, who posted this? How to add more HDMI ports.
I did. I thought it was a good article. Not something to talk about here, but it's if you only have one or two HDMI ports and you want to have more, this article will tell you how to go about what pieces of equipment are available out there to get more HDMI and how to make that happen.
Yeah, but basically, it's an adapter. I have several of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one, gosh, 10 years ago.
I think that I could say safely that your newer TVs have a lot more HDMI ports in them. I know that the ones that I bought recently seem to have quite a few HDMI ports.
Yeah, but sometimes it may not be enough if you want to have a Roku and a Fire TV and
Right.
you want to hook up your Chromebook directly and so on. You may run out of HDMI ports. So.
Right. I put this on there, Hewie. I think I put this one up. Windows laptops, the real stars of CES were Chrome OS devices. Or
Yeah,
Chromebooks.
I'm the one that actually posted this one.
Did you?
But yeah, there's apparently there's obviously there's going to be some new Chrome OS or Chromebook devices, and also one of the articles, and maybe it was this one, indicates that Chrome boxes are going to come back in style. They were still available, but not a lot of people were buying them, and it looks like they're going to have more models and promote them more. And what a Chrome box is, it's like the base of a computer, and you still have to buy a monitor and a keyboard and a mouse for it, but it becomes a desktop computer then.
Huey, this is a good time maybe to mention about our show Learning Chromebooks we do once a month. Huey and I have been doing this for 2 years now, and it's a 1-hour session once a month we do called Learning Chromebooks. We go through all the updates that have occurred in the last month and then talk about Chromebooks. And
Absolutely.
How would someone, if they wanted to come with this, how would they sign up?
Gosh, if they go to the Tech for Senior website, there's a link there.
Yes, there is. So that would be a good way to sign up, and it's free, and we don't charge anything for it. It is a Zoom meeting, and you have to be registered for it, but it's totally free, and you can just go to our website, which of course is www.techforsenior.com. It's right there on the front page, and you should be able to sign up. And we've got one coming up the end of the month.
Yep, we sure do.
All right. Excellent. All right. CES 5 new smartwatches and wearables we want to wear. Who did this one?
I did. I just thought it was a good article. It's talking about some of the newer smartwatches that are coming out, and then some things about them. And it talks about 5 different smartwatches.
Lots of technology. You know, it's life is going by so fast. You know, the stuff we had last year, which we just think, I'm just sort of thinking, well, I just got my, whatever. But no, it's another round and all new stuff, right?
Yep.
Especially for those of us that go out and buy a new TV set only to find out it's obsolete a year later.
I know.
Yeah, as
Or
Bob
new
Finney
or,
said,
or phone too.
you can never have the latest. Because the next day,
Chat GPT used by criminals to write malware. That must be a Bob article.
No, I actually
No,
posted it.
that one Hewie posted. I had posted
Yep.
one earlier on the same thing because, hey, listen, if it works for the good guys, it works for the bad guys.
No wonder we can't get on, right? No wonder we can't use it. All right. Another OpenAI will soon test a paid version. That's what I said. Yes, a paid version.
Yep.
a professional
This is the article about it. Yep.
Yeah.
Chat GPT professional.
I think I read that article, Huey. I don't think it mentioned cost. Did you see it? Did anyone see
No,
it?
there's no mention of cost.
Right. Hmm. Man, something I'd probably pay for. It's pretty crazy. Oh well, look who presented at APZUG on their Wednesday workshop.
Yep.
We mentioned that. Who's this guy here?
I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we had over 180 people there.
Yeah. Microsoft report plans to invest 10 billion in creator of buzzy AI tool ChatGPT. They're putting a lot of money into this, eh?
Yes.
Yep.
What is
And there's a
buzzy
lot
mean?
of talk, and we're gonna. If you don't know what it is, you're gonna hear a lot about it.
Right. Bob, that's the seas look pretty calm there.
Shots can sometimes look very deceiving, especially when it's concentrating on one thing and the other is in the background.
All right. Man, we got a lot of there you go, professional version. A lot going on about it. Yes, this is something I'd like to talk a little bit about on our Monday show. I think I've got someone that's going to do that. And Raspberry Pi launches a new autofocus cameras in 4 flavors. Mike, have you done any work with a Raspberry Pi? Have you ever had one?
No, I've never had a.
It's really interesting if you're interested in technology. I haven't either, and I don't really know a lot about them because I've never. But they're fun and they can actually do a lot of useful things for you. But you have to, and you can program to do what you want. So. George Bowden from Victoria apparently is the president of they've got a Raspberry Pi club in Victoria. I'm going to talk to him and see if we can get him to maybe do something on our Monday show. Ray, this is interesting.
Not mine.
I think I put it up there to remind us to this is the new Harman Kardon turntable. Harman turntable.
Yeah, Bluetooth enabled, JBL spinner.
Many of the new turntables are combined with digitization circuitry so that you can literally rip a record like you can rip an audio CD.
Right.
Yeah, the only negative of it is it does it in real time. So it takes, if you have 20 minutes on side A, it's going to take 20 minutes for that side to be copied to your computer. But I have an 8-year-old Sony turntable that has that feature. So it's been around for a while.
For those of you who don't know, Ray is always talking about records, and it's amazing the proliferation of records that have happened over the past number of years. And of course, that now means that there's more and more people making turntables. Something probably 15, 20 years ago we thought would be gone. There would be no more turntables, right, Ray?
That was certainly when 1986, 87, when the CDs were becoming more and more popular. That's when they said this is the death knell for vinyl. That it's going to be gone soon, but it's made a comeback. I still think it tends to be what I call trendy. You go to a person's home and they have a turntable and it's trendy. It's never going to come back big time. Streaming is here to stay.
Okay. I think we talked about this. This is
we did. Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
The one thing that I didn't see an article about, and so I couldn't post it, but I am hearing rumors and hearing a lot about the fact that Microsoft might be coming out with a foldable phone. And Microsoft hasn't had a phone in a long time,
right?
And they're going to have a foldable one.
No, the Duo is out. It's been out. There was the Duo.
No,
original.
this is going to be instead of the Duo. Yeah, they're apparently going to shelve the Duo and come out with a different one.
But it is a foldable phone, so it would not be their first foldable phone.
Yeah.
Hewie, any more comments before we wrap things up?
Let's see where we left off here. Bill H wants everybody should like this.
Please click a like. That'd be great.
Yep.
If we
it helps us.
Yeah. Bill H says, I've already clicked like. This is all anyone needs to do to help. Dick Vogel says, I sometimes get 6 more likes using our smart TV as different users. It also allows the chats to scroll alongside the YouTube screen. There you go.
Good to know.
There you go. That's great. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming today. And it's, boy, an hour's gone by quickly. Bob, are things settling down out there on the high seas?
No, sir, they're not, and they won't for quite some time. One more thing on that picture that I had posted of that bunny, that was just to give you, I'm posting pictures as we go along. So if you're interested in following those pictures, there's a link there that you can, it's open. As I post them, you'll see them, provided I get a chance to take pictures.
Right. Well, listen, that I want to thank everyone for coming. Hewie, I'll talk to you again on Saturday morning. We'll have our usual meeting. Bob, I wish you safe travels, and we'll hopefully see you on Monday. Mike, just keep smiling and let that sun keep making you money. Any word on your Rivian car or truck that you're thinking about getting? Or
it's a Fisker, and no,
Fisker, sorry.
I don't expect to hear anything until another year from now.
All right. And Ray, is that did I hear there's a storm coming at Pine? Are you getting more snow, or what's happening?
No. Right now it's 50 degrees outside and the sun is shining bright. So I don't know of any storms right away. Maybe by the weekend. You can never can tell here.
Okay. Well, we'll see, Ray. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks everyone for coming, and we'll see everybody back same time, same place next week. Bye now.
Bye bye.